If you're a producer, artist, or songwriter trying to figure out how to actually work better in the studio, this is for you. In this mentoring session, I'm coaching an independent artist named Joze through some real questions around vision, collaboration, and what it really takes to stand out and get the most out of a studio session. And just for context, my name's Terrence. I'm a top 40 music producer and songwriter, and I've seen firsthand what separates artists who make it from the ones who don't. So stick around, because this conversation is going to give you real insight into how to show up like a pro and make every studio session count. And hey, if you're looking for coaching or want me in your corner, check out the description for details on how to work with me. Let's dive in.
So you've been in the room with a lot of different artists, right? A lot.
Yeah.
And some of them, have really made a career out of this. So I wanted to ask you, what are the characteristics of artists that you enjoy working with? Like, what do they do differently than, let's say, your average artist when you're in the room with them creating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest noticeable difference is that they have a vision. They know what they want, and they're confident in what they want, and like they come in with like references, with a very clear like, I think this is what we should try today. Just like very sure of themselves. Mm-hmm. I think that's really what it all comes down to, because then I think that translates into how they how they communicate with me. Because when they trust themselves, they also like trust the people. I feel like there's also trust in me and to do my job, but knowing that ultimately, like I'm driving them to their vision. If I'm working with an artist, I'm the driver,
right,
and they're the passenger, but they have already told me this is where I want to go.
Right. And
I just show them my way of getting there. Like maybe we'll take the scenic route here or whatever, but like the destination is still the destination they want to go to. Okay. And it's not like us just randomly driving and like figuring it out along the way. I like at least there is a clear direction to start with. Like maybe we can change the direction. That's fine. But they come into the car and they're like, this is where I want to go. Like take me there.
Okay.
And then maybe as like along the way we see some mountains and they're like, you know what? Actually, I kind of like the vibe of this area. Like why don't we stop there for a second?
Shit.
They're the ultimate visionary. I mean, it's their project. They're the artist, right?
Yeah. So in a technical sense, like when you say vision, what do you mean? Do you mean like the sound?
Maybe it's as simple as like they know what they like and they don't like, and they know what is part of their project or their sound and what's not, and like they also contribute to the sound. Like maybe they might not be physically executing it, but they'll be like, oh, what if that was like a little bit darker, or I'm feeling maybe a chord change here, or like I'm not sure if that's like right. Can we maybe make it feel more like this song? Like even stuff like that helps.
Shit. Okay. So just confidently say what you like and don't like.
I really think so. Yeah. To a sense, like almost sticking to your guns. Like even if I might disagree with an artist sometimes. Like I think it's important that the artist like really is just confident in what they want and speaks their mind. You've been doing this for so long. I think it's important that
people should listen to me.
Exactly. It could also be both of you are the visionaries. Like if they want this to be a joint vision where it's like, no, I really do want you to pick the destination. That's a very sure thing.
Right.
I don't want to go into a session not knowing who's picking the destination.
So speak your mind, stick to your guns, and the artist has the vision.
Yes. And if they choose to share the vision with someone else, then they're like intentionally, knowingly, willingly doing that.
So that's the thing. My next question was, how does an artist successfully take over a session? But it's what you said. It's just by being confident, knowing what they want.
I think so.
Right?
Because then when you know what you want, you also know the types of producers you want to work with. You'll know when a producer is like, this is the vibe for me, and this is what I feel like will work on my project versus not. You're not just like, oh, let's do a session and
see what's going on.
Just see what happens, which is fine. But then, like after the session happens, you can confidently know, do I want to work with this person or not? Like not even just from is this person nice or not, but just from an artistic, stylistic level to be like, does this person understand where I want to take this project or not?
So my next question, what is the best thing that you want from me as an artist It's the vision and communication, I'm guessing.
I think so. Yeah, having a vision and being able to communicate it. I do think the communication is important, and this is going to come with obviously experience, and you've got plenty of that. But it's also one thing if you have the vision and like we're going back and forth, and you're just unable to help me understand what it is that I need to do, and that could be both sides too, right? Like maybe the producer isn't at a level where he or she can execute that vision. That could be a problem, in which case maybe you're just not working with the right person, or it's like you're lacking the communication skills to like articulate what you want to the producer. Then that's also an issue too, right? So yeah, both of those things need to happen. It's hard to find the right producer for you, right? You want someone that's good hang, and also can create like
fire.
Yeah, for lack of better words. Sure.
So as an artist, how can I use you, the producer, in the best way? Like, for example, what's the, it's going to sound wrong, but what's the one thing that I can benefit from you? Like, how can I use you in the best way?
Okay, so from a completely selfish perspective as an artist, maybe I want to ask the producer to send me as many tracks as possible, connect me with as many people as possible, whether that's other writers, other producers, I don't know, finish my shit.
Yeah, I swear to God. I swear to God.
Yeah, make more time for me. Those are all things I would selfishly ask, but then obviously what are you doing for the producer is then this is the kind of the balance, right? Like, are you paying the producer? Is there some kind of a future or back end that the producer can rely on, that could feel excited about? Let's not even say rely on, right? Like if I were to give you, my free time right now to do a session, like what am I actually getting? Yeah, what's in it for me, right? And especially if you're looking for someone that's of quality, that's at a pro level, it's like we're not here to just like make another song, right? Like there's gotta be a plan. And this is where the vision, like if I don't believe that, like that's why it all boils back down to that. If I don't believe that you have your shit together enough, that you'll have your social media presence, there's a rollout plan, that there's a bigger picture, you're planning to get signed, like why the fuck am I going to give you my free time? Doesn't matter how dope you are. Like I actually just don't care. There's so many people that are talented, that can sing, that can write songs, that have good songs, but it's like if you're not doing the serious things that an artist needs to do, otherwise it's like, okay, let's take your songs and pitch them. Like you're a songwriter, right? But if you're an artist and you're trying to release shit and you're trying to get me on board and help you, like you gotta show me like why I should give you my time, right? Or give you a discount on a production fee, or put in all this work before I even see a single dollar from you, right? So I think it's important that you think of it from that lens, what the producer wants, because the more you can kind of be in the producer's shoes, the more they're willing to do stuff for you, right? It's easier to get stuff from a producer when they're maybe not at that level, or they're more like up and coming, but once they're at a level, it's like, it's really like, what is in it for me? Like, why should I give you my time versus someone that's either going to pay me, or someone that's got to connect to a bigger artist, to a major label, or even to an independent artist that has their shit together. You're competing against those people, right? You're competing against another independent artist that might have 100,000 to 500,000 followers, that has their shit together, posting every day. You know what I mean? So it's like, why should I give you my time versus that person? If you don't have a good reason, then you need to work on that reason. That's a big one, I think. I need, go find that reason. And maybe it doesn't have to come in the form of, money. Like, maybe if, you'll sing on help them demo a bunch of songs, help them come up with a vocal sample pack. Like, I don't know, whatever it is, like, this is where you really, the understanding the business side of things and relationships, and there's just got to be something in it for everyone, right?
So the vision goes beyond just like the sonics.
I mean, if we're talking about just in a session, then yes, the sonics, right, and the songwriting and creatively. But like from a bigger picture, like why would I even jump into a session with you to start? You got to give me some some bullet points. At least this person was writing with so and so or has a connection. Like what do you have to use for leverage? It's either attention, which is your following, right? You've already put out music that's got millions of streams, so that's attention, or it's a connection, right? You know someone that might be beneficial to them.
Right.
I feel like it ultimately boils down to those two things. Yeah, because even like, man, a couple years ago, I just remember this too. Like there was a local independent artist. She was a new artist, and my manager presented that session to me, and at first, like, I was just like, I'm not sure. Like, I heard some of her music. I'm like, I don't know. But then, like, what sold me on the session was like how hard she was grinding on TikTok. Like, I could just see it. Like, she built a following from like nothing in like half a year, and already had a couple 100,000 followers. Her relentlessness on TikTok, and just I can see like there's consistency, there's like a vision, there's like a brand around what she's building. Understanding that the fact that she did that in 6 months was enough leverage for me to be like, okay, I can take a shot at this. But it's like I wasn't sold on any of the other data, but that data got me. And it turned out I love the song that we made. It was a great session, but it's like I would have probably said no to that if that piece wasn't there.
So you need to know and see that the artist is gonna take this even outside of this.
Yeah,
room.
it's serious. That there's potential. Like I have to at least I have to feel that there's potential from my end. Like I'm saying, like everyone's feeling of potential is different. Some people might be sold off just of your voice. Some people might just be sold off how you look. But like the undeniable metric is, I think, attention and connection, right? Like I can't deny the fact that you're grinding hard, and you have your shit together, and you're on TikTok every day, and you have like, 500,000, whatever it is, 100,000 of followers. Like that's an undeniable stat. But yeah, from a business perspective, I think that's huge. That's what's gonna get you in the door of people wanting to work with you, but also want to work with you.
Right. So you have to offer the TikTok stuff, man. The socials
is huge,
big,
man. The socials is huge. Because the thing is, like, bro, like really think of it from my shoes. It's like you either give me a nice bag up front, at least like, hey, you paid my bills for the next month. Cool. If it's not that, and I have to take a discount or whatever it is, we got to negotiate something, then it's like I really got to believe that something is going to happen. And how do you make me believe that? Really up to you, but I can only imagine there's only a few ways, right? Like, how are we gonna get this music heard? It's either you have a following and you blow it up there, or you have a connection to, I don't know, a sync label, and you're doing well with that sync team, and hey, this could like very well like get placed with something, and I can envision that. Oh yeah, this could totally be on the next Fast and Furious. You have a connect there, amazing. Yeah, totally. Let's shoot for it. But if you're just like, yeah, I don't really know, but like I want to use it for my artist project, cool. Give me a bag then. That's great and all, but like,
give me a bag.
Yeah. Or unless I just, like I said, unless I just have some kind of relationship where I absolutely love you and I'm like invested in you, then that's a different story. But if it's not that, then it's like,
bro, what a bag.
Yeah.
What, it makes sense though. Yeah.
Right.
It makes sense. Yeah. This next question is gonna seem cliche. What is the role of an artist in modern society?
Dude, that feels like a very deep and layered question. I would say, at the end of the day, artists are entertainers and performers, so they should entertain people in their own way. You could be Adele and just entertain people purely through your voice and just how amazing your songs are. You could also be an artist, I don't know, like Beyonce, where it's like a spectacle and I'm watching you dance and it's crazy, or Bruno Mars, or like maybe even some, but I'm trying to think of examples where artists like who aren't maybe like good singers or whatever, but they're just like their whole swag and their whole brand is what's entertaining.
We can't say that on camera.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying, right? But they're still an artist and their job is to just entertain.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay, so entertain. The role of an artist is to entertain in modern society.
I think so.
So how do you translate that into in the studio as an artist? Like, where does the studio fit in all of that whole concept as them, entertaining?
Well, I think in the studio you're creating. You're not in artist mode, so to speak. I feel like when you're in the studio, it's like you're in the gym practicing your shots. You're working on your craft. You're working on your game. It feels more like that. But ultimately, the goal is you come out on the court and the fans see you and you're on your A game. Your A game in the gym is not the same A game that you're bringing on the court, right? Your A game on the gym is like, I'm going to push as hard as I can to like train this muscle or like make sure I'm consistent with my free throws or whatever. But then your A game on the court is like, you're performing for the fans.
Yeah.
You need to get the
With
highest
some
score.
pressure.
Yeah, there's pressure. It's just it's different things,
It's
right?
different. Yeah.
So yeah, I think studio's more like practicing. It's like the practice environment where you're like creative and you're working on your skills.
The muscle.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it.
Now, T, what is the role of a producer in modern society?
I feel like the best way to describe a producer is like the director of a film.
Like, to bring the vision to life?
Yes,
Type thing?
it's to bring the vision to life, and you are solely responsible for that.
The producer or
The
artist?
producer is responsible. The artist trusts the producer. The artist might have the vision, but then like the producer has to bring the vision to life. Yeah. And then obviously the producer themselves have a vision as to how they bring the artist's vision to life. But that is the job of the producer. So it doesn't matter how it gets done. Because I think of it like a film, like a director of a film. The consumers don't care like who did what. But if the film was good, they put it on the director. If the film sucked, they put it on the director, right? It's like it's the director that actually carries the burden, but also gets all the praise. I see it the same as the producer. It's like usually you don't even know what happens behind the scenes. Like, did they make the beat? Okay, yeah, sure. Nowadays it's like, oh yeah, producer's beat maker. But it's like, okay, yeah, did you make the beat? Did you actually engineer? Did you not engineer?
Yeah.
Were you actually pressing the buttons? Were you not? Were you just directing people? But it doesn't matter. At the end, I still feel like unless you're literally sitting on the couch and you said one word and just didn't do anything, like sure. But if you're the one that's even just managing people to bring it to life, like look at Rick Rubin, right? Like I would say Rick Rubin's a classic example of that. He just curates vibes and makes artists feel comfortable. Here's a vibe curator, right?
Yeah.
But that's really like, in a nutshell, what a producer is. It's like a vibe curator to bring the vision to life. Because you don't have to make the beat, but like you still have to decide like what's good or not, and what is like finished or not, what is passable, what's not passable. I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you have to do this, you can't do that, you can't be using loops, you have to play everything yourself, or whatever it is, you should be pressing the buttons, you shouldn't be like, no, I really think it's about like bringing it to the finish line.
Yeah.
Because sure, you could press all the buttons and shit, but like, do you know where to draw the line in the sand to be like, no, this is done, this is not done? I think that's an even harder skill.
That's so hard, bro. Like,
yeah, because you can always add shit.
You can always
add shit. You can always take away shit. You can always spice things up. You can always like add another like. Bro, you can always put another ad lib. You can always get another instrument, another riff, another lick, like whatever it is.
And you listen to it over and over
again.
You're gonna add
something. So yeah, I actually think there's mad like skill, and this is what the producer's role is to be like, no, this is done.
Yeah.
And we're letting this go.
This is done, and especially like when the artist really gets settled in, like you were talking, vision and confidence. The artist is gonna be like, no, no, and you just gotta be like, it's done.
Yeah.
But the artist, no.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in that position?
Yeah, but I feel like usually the most successful relationships are always like we're both on the same page. Eventually, we have to eventually get on the same page. There can't be like, I don't think that actually ever works. Yeah, it's funny because sometimes the artist will say it's done, but then the producer's like, it's not done.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of them need to come to.
They have to come together, man.
Yeah, I think so.
That's tough because like you can be like, this is done, and then you work with an artist like I mean, I don't know, but Michael Jackson worked hard.
Yeah.
So when was enough for him?
Well, I don't know who drew the line. I don't know if it was Quincy or if it was Michael, if it was both of them. But I feel like that onus lies more on the producer than the artist. Like the producer's kind of in control of the situation, and they should be the ones that are like, no, this is done, or it's not done, or it's good enough, it's not good enough.
You know, you said the artist can say, I want this sound and that sound, and this is my vision. But like, what kind of conversation does that sound like to a producer? Like, how do you understand what the artist wants, and you're able to put that into action?
Okay, so I think for me, referencing always helps. Like,
Yeah.
If you're like, I don't really like this sound, I want a slightly different kind of sound. Let's say if it was just generic like that, then I'd be like, okay, what ballpark of the sound do you want? Like, can you give me some song examples or some production examples? That will usually help if they're able to come up with that.
Okay.
And I think that usually fixes the problem. Or like, even if it's like, man, I want this to be more exciting, or I want this to completely switch up here. Okay, cool. Can you give me some song examples? And maybe even those few song examples are like a little bit random. Like as a producer, it's kind of my job to then like interpret what that means. So maybe the excitement in this song that you just showed me is because there were some extra hi-hats, or there's a new instrument introduced.
So you're gonna understand.
But that's on the skill of the producer too, to be like, can I actually take what you're saying and like interpret it in a way that makes sense? And this is the producer's job, right? This is the skill of the producer, because not everyone can execute it, or someone might take that and run with it one way, someone might take that and run with it another way, right?
So when an artist communicates their vision, they communicate the feeling that they want to...
I think so, but also sometimes like the artist could also be wrong, right? Like the artist could also communicate a vision that might not, that they think could sound cool, but in the reality of like trying it out, it doesn't work, right? But I think where it's best when the artist is able to effectively communicate that, the producer is able to effectively interpret that, and then they are able to try it out, and then both parties are able to then make a decision to be like, okay, is this the vibe, or was this a good shot at it or not, right? 50% of the time, if the artist is like, yo, I'm not sure if I'm feeling that, then like I might try a couple more things without you having to go into explicit detail of
right.
And then I'd eventually nail it, right?
Right,
like,
you stay in the same realm.
Still stay in the same realm, but I'll just try a couple things, and this is like, you know, where I have to be creative and try some things, and then the artist will be, oh yeah, that's dope. But there are times where that doesn't work. Then it's like, okay, can you just be a little bit more clear what you mean? Like, and then we'll dive into song examples. Okay, let's just take a break here. Like, I've tried this for probably like 10, 15, 20 minutes and it's still not working. Like, this is just the system, the process that I go through, right? Sometimes it just doesn't work. And like, you know, we'll bang our heads against the wall for like another hour. It's like, you know what? Maybe we should just start a new idea, right? That can happen too, but those are the steps that I would walk through.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Was that helpful?
Yeah, super, man, super. Because, like, I've never thought about being an artist in the way that you portrayed it to me.
Right.
In that sense, right? And I wanted to know how I can be an artist in the room.
Yes.
And I feel like the way you explained it to me, that's just how an artist should carry themselves in everyday life.
Yes, exactly. Right? And that doesn't necessarily mean, like, you have to be, like, a confident person, or like an aggressive person, or like it's not necessarily your personality. It's like you're just sure in what you want.
Yeah. That's
the distinction between, like, not just to be overconfident or over anything or changing your personality. It's just your vision. It's just the sureness of your vision.
I need a vision.
Yeah. That's gonna go a long way, man.
Yo!
It's gonna go a long way, dude.
That's crazy. I feel like I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. Maybe that's why I haven't figured out what it's
I feel like it's exactly that, because even when I keep asking you, like, why hasn't anything happened, like the last 4 years, like, you can't even describe it to me, it's because you're not clear.
I'm not clear.
You're not. Like, you're saying you have an 80s project, you have a house project, and then I have some songs together, but the fact that you're coming to me and you're not like, yo, I'm so excited to show you this, and like, bro, like I'm planning to drop this next week, and then it's gonna be this, and then it's gonna be that. Like that already tells me that you're actually just not sure. Dude, maybe you could be sitting on fire, and like I could tell you, hey, bro, this is it. But like I think you need to believe yourself that you're like, man, I actually don't even care what Terrence says or anyone. Like it's yeah, sure, it'll give me good feedback, but I know, like I feel confident. My gut is telling me this is the direction I want to lean in.
But is it wrong to, not wrong, but is it wrong to release something and then a month later it's a whole new aesthetic?
I think you can always change things up. There's nothing wrong with changing things up, and I think it's a healthy part of you figuring things out. If you're not sure, you're gonna be trying this, and then that might be it, or it might not be it, and then you're gonna try that, and then that. But the thing is, like, you're not even trying right now. you're not even shooting the shot. Like a decision has to be made first, right? You have to be like, okay, I know I want to try all these things, but right now what feels most right to me is like I know I need to commit to this. So I'm just gonna see this through, and then see how I feel after that. And maybe I like it, maybe I don't, but there's no commitment right now.
Yeah.
That I'm feeling from you.
No.
So that I think that's where it needs to start. And maybe you're not 1,000%, and I think that's okay. Like we can't wait for the perfect moment, and especially I feel like the fact that you've had all this time doing music and like just so little to show for in terms of releases. I think right now you need momentum. And the only way you're gonna get momentum is just by putting shit out. Yeah.
I like that. That's some real shit.
Okay, yeah.
You heard it here first. That's some real shit.